Hi everyone, my name is Sophie Hines. I'm a third-year student studying International Development and Globalization, and I'm from Osgood, which is a small village outside of Ottawa. In this video, I'll be talking to you about some of the patterns and relationships that I observed by researching humans and how they interact with media and with other humans, as well as some things I learned about myself through this research journey. Speaking of learning things about myself, by keeping track of how much time I spent on my phone in a 12-hour period once a week for 10 weeks, I found that on average I spent 3 hours and 5 minutes on my phone every day. By looking at my daily time spent on my phone, I came to the realization that my phone is something I use when I am bored or too tired to do anything else. The days I have higher screen times almost always correspond with days that I remember being bored or a day where I was particularly tired. This taught me that I need to expand my coping mechanisms and try to take up new hobbies. In my research focused on patterns amongst humans and their media use, I used poetry and collages to express what I was observing. For example, the following poem discusses two posters that I found on telephone poles in the city. They are both centered on complex political issues, and I think my poem simplified what the goal of these posters was, which was to bring attention to these two political issues. I also used collage to visualize concepts that are sometimes difficult to describe in words or that are taboo topics of conversation in the media, such as the female sex life and masturbation. Furthermore, I used self-portrait and recounting my dreams to gain insights into myself and how I use media. I used self-portrait because I wanted to visualize what I think of myself physically. I did not look in a mirror when I was drawing, but instead used what people told me about myself to create my self-portrait. For example, I have pin straight hair, and people always comment on it, so I included that in my portrait along with my round face that I believe comes from my Polish roots, as the media often depicts Polish people as having rounded faces. This way, I was able to put down on paper how I see myself, which has been molded by comments other people have made on my appearance and by the media. I analyzed my dreams to see how the media I consumed impacts the kinds of dreams I have. I observed that I had a lot of dreams about something bad happening to my mom. I noted that this might be a result of feeling anxious in my daily life because of my increased consumption of social media at the time, and this anxious feeling was seeping into my dreams. Lastly, through creating an Ann Tainter-inspired artwork, I learned that I can be a creative person. I'm not very artistically inclined, and I have never had any interest in making artwork, but I have observed that maybe this has changed, as I really had fun thinking of a clever phrase inspired by memes I've seen in the media. Being street-level media, I learned that most times street media is used to grab the attention of people walking by on the street. Because of this, posters are typically colorful and have bold words with a simple message so that people walking by can read the poster and understand the message right away. When I was looking for posters to photograph, I always chose the first posters that caught my eye and that were simple to understand, which is how the global media system functions. From making various different artworks, I learned that viewers can take different meanings from the artworks they observe. For example, I made a collage about the role of women in society and about abolishing the idea that women are baby-making machines because their role in society is no longer to reproduce and be housewives. Women can do anything they want to do. But another viewer with different beliefs could see the meaning of my collage differently. They might see that I am trying to show that women are only vessels for reproduction and that they do not have a choice in the kind of life they want to lead. I also learned that simple images are pleasing to the brain. My Ann Tainter artworks are my favorite artworks that I created because they are so simple and clever. Though through the years of consuming media, I have noticed that on social media, the posts that take me 2 seconds to read are the ones that draw my attention, and they are the forms of media I enjoy consuming the most. Through my word clouds, I have learned that words are very powerful. The types of words that I use determine the feeling and the vibe of the word cloud. When I used words such as worried, confused, and sad, the vibe of the word cloud is negative and does not paint a very nice image of the types of dreams I had or of the feelings I had about my media diet. In conclusion, in my research journey, I learned that I need to be more observant of my surroundings and more present in my life because I rarely notice posters on the street when I'm walking to class, and I rarely take in my feelings in certain situations. My research has made me more aware of the world I'm living in, and I think that this project has taught me a lot about myself and my media habits, while also comparing them to the media habits of my friends and my family and of strangers as well.